Good evening, friends. Thanks for your valuable comments on my videos on Twitter, Koo, and Twitter. I make sure that I read all of them and post them on social media. Today, we cover various news bits that will be of interest to you. In an interesting development, we get to hear the opposite side, the secrets of a strategist and select media in a leaked conversation. The conversation happened between a cozy group of Clubhouse journalists who reveal that the strategist Prashant Kishor's biggest fears about West Bengal elections. The leaked Clubhouse chat with Prashant Kishor features Ravish Kumar, Swati Chaturvedi, Arfa Khanum, Mithili Mukherjee, Rohini Singh, Sanjay Hegde, and several other journalists on Clubhouse. On the Clubhouse tape, the poll strategist is heard admitting that parties, including the TMC, use the Muslim community to gain votes. Prashant Kishor goes on to acknowledge the tremendous support and popularity that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has. On being asked by the Clubhouse journalist about which way the Matua community is voting, the poll strategist revealed that he feels the BJP enjoyed the support of 75% of the Matua community. In fact, Prashant Kishor goes on to say there are a lot of BJP workers on ground. All those workers could have been imported from the left but are dedicatedly working for BJP. There is no area or district in West Bengal where there is no huge support for BJP. Responding to a question posed to the poll strategist by Ravish Kumar regarding the lack of anti-incumbency faced by the Modi government, Prashant Kishor says the anti-incumbency is against the state government and not the central government. And Modi is popular here, very popular. If we are doing a leader survey, then Modi and Mamta are equally popular, which is a very big thing. Modi is very popular. In the course of the conversation with the Clubhouse journalists, Prashant Kishor also goes on to reveal that parties underestimated the presence of BJP's ground workers in Bengal and claimed that these workers could have been imported from the left but were working dedicatedly. Just a minute, friends. Yeah. In the course of conversation with the Clubhouse journalists, Prashant Kishor also goes on to reveal that parties underestimated the presence of BJP's ground workers in Bengal and claimed that these workers could have been imported from the left but were working dedicatedly for the BJP. The poll strategist claimed that the anger against TMC, the polarization, and PM Modi's popularity alongside BJP's electoral machinery had opened the doors for the Saffron Party to polarize and get SC votes. In the leaked Clubhouse tape, Prashant Kishor admits that Muslims have been used by several parties electorally, including the TMC. He says there has been a blatant effort to appease the minorities. Look at West Bengal, politics here. Whoever casts votes for Muslims will form the government. Responding to his leaked conversation with the Clubhouse journalist, Prashant Kishor claimed that he was glad that BJP was taking his chat more seriously than the words of their leaders. The TMC's poll strategist dared BJP to share the full conversation of using parts instead of using parts of it. Further, Kishor reiterated that BJP would not cross the 100-seat mark in the West Bengal Assembly elections. This is more like a case of sour grapes once the conversation has been leaked out. The Maharashtra government, meanwhile, orders a probe against Parambir's misconduct. Amid ongoing CBI inquiry was leveled corruption charges against Anil Deshmukh. Even as the CBI has launched a preliminary inquiry into corruption allegations made by former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh against NCP's Anil Deshmukh, forcing him to resign as the Maharashtra Home Minister, the state government has ordered its own inquiry against the controversial cop. On Saturday, the Maha Vikas Aghadi government directly newly appointed Maharashtra DGP Sanjay Pandey to conduct an inquiry against Parambir Singh and his alleged misconducts as the CP. According to reports, if anything incriminating is found against the former top cop, it would lead to his suspension. At the center of various controversies, Parambir currently holds a position of Maharashtra DG for Home Guards. The focus of the inquiry is to find out how officers like API Sachin Vaze, who had been arrested in connection with the Antilia bomb scare case, went rogue while working under the then Mumbai CP Parambir Singh, report said. Pandey has also been asked to probe whether Singh provided the MBA government with all the necessary information or whether he showed carelessness and neglect in handling the case. The government's internal department inquiry against Parambir Singh comes 2 days after the Supremo rejected Anil Deshmukh's petition seeking to hold the CBI investigation against him as ordered by the Bombay HC. The NCP leader and the Maharashtra government had moved the top court, challenging the High Court, directing a preliminary inquiry by the CBI in the extortion allegations leveled by Parambir. The Supreme Court bench, comprising of Justice S.K. Kaul and Hemant Gupta, asserted that Anil Deshmukh will have to face the CBI preliminary probe. On Thursday, the CBI recorded the statements of Parambir Singh, Sachin Vaze, and ACP Sanjay Patil in the preliminary inquiry on the charges against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh in the extortion case. CBI records statement of a bar owner also who met Vaze at the CIU office on March 3rd. On Friday, the CBI recorded the statement of a bar owner who allegedly paid protection money to suspended Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze on March 3rd. This was in connection with the preliminary inquiry on former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir's extortion charges against Anil Deshmukh. As per the sources, his name is Mahesh Shetty and visited the Crime Intelligence Unit office from 4 to 6:30 p.m. on March 3rd, where he allegedly saw Mansukh Hiren and convicted cop Vinayak Shinde. While Hiren's dead body was found in Thane Creek on March 5th, Vaze and Shinde are the key suspects in his death case. Earlier, Shetty was questioned by the NIA as well as the Maharashtra ATS. According to sources, he told both the agencies that the suspended cop was pressurizing Hiren to take responsibility for the explosives-laden car that was parked outside Antilia. Meanwhile, a CBI team has already recorded the statements of Parambir Singh, Vaze, ACP Sanjay Patil, and complainant Jayashree Patil. On Thursday, the Supreme Court bench of Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Justice Hemant Gupta heard the appeals of Deshmukh and the Maharashtra government against the HC order. During the course of the hearing, senior advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi argued that the High Court heard the arguments of the Advocate General on maintainability without giving the chance to the state government to file a counter. Representing Deshmukh, the senior Congress leader Kapil Sibal lamented that his client was not heard and stressed that Singh's claims had no evidentiary value. Backing the need for a CBI probe in its order, the court noted, other than the niceties of an elaborate order passed by the High Court, we are of the view that the nature of allegations, the personas involved, and the seriousness of the allegations do require an independent agency to inquire into the matter. It is a matter of public confidence given the factual scenario. We may also add that what has been directed is only a preliminary inquiry, albeit by an independent agency. In fresh trouble for the Uddhav Thackeray-led Mahavikas Aghadi government, another of its ministers, Anil Parab, is now battling allegations of extortion, prompting the BJP to call for an in-depth probe. What makes it a trickier situation for the CM is that this time, the minister in question, Parab, is one of his inner circle of people and among his few close confidants within the Shiv Sena. The accusations against Parab came from suspended Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze, who on Wednesday alleged that the minister had instructed him to collect rupees 50 crores from a trust facing an inquiry to close the probe. Vaze also said that Parab had directed him to make certain collections from supposedly fraudulent contractors with the Mumbai civic body. The allegations were part of a letter that Vaze purportedly tried to submit to a special NIA court. Vaze is presently in the custody of the NIA in the Ambani terror scare case. The accusations against Parab come after allegations of extortion against another MBA minister, the NCB's Anil Deshmukh. A third minister in the Thackeray-led coalition, the Shiv Sena's Sanjay Rathod, also courted controversy over allegations of being involved in the death of TikTok star Pooja Chavan, which we had earlier explained in one of our videos. Rathod and Deshmukh had to both resign from the cabinet, referring to the allegations against Parab. Opposition leader Devendra Fadnavis said, "The letter is serious. There should be an inquiry by the CBI or by a competent authority to ensure there is doodh ka doodh or pani ka pani." That means the truth should be revealed. The 56-year-old Parab has worked his way up within the party, from being just another Karyakarta under the mentorship of former Shiv Sena MP Madhukar Sarpotdar. He became a surprise pick in the Thackeray-led cabinet, chosen over more senior leaders such as Divakar Raute and Ramdas Kadam. He has rejected the charges against him, slamming them as a conspiracy by the BJP. The minister has also said that he was open to any inquiry. Meanwhile, in the case of NCB, it seems to be the star federal agency that does not rest for a second, all thanks to Samir Wankhede and his team. The NCB on Thursday arrested 6 persons in separate operations in Mumbai and seized a total of 123 blocks of LSD, 30 grams of curated marijuana, mephedrone, and hashish in small quantities. In the first operation, on the basis of information, the NCB seized 70 blocks of LSD, 30 grams curated marijuana, and charas, and intercepted Zaid Rana and Sonu Faiz at Oshiwara, Mumbai. The operations were led by Zonal Director Samir Wankhede. During the investigation, NCB arrested one more person, Shubham Savardekar, aka Thapa, along with a small quantity of hashish in Andheri. In another operation, the NCB seized 53 blocks of LSD, commercial quantity, 10.2 grams mephedrone, and intercepted 3 persons, Ravi Waghela, Harshad Waghela, and Sharad Pargi at Manvel Pada Road in Virar. It seems bud cannabis extract, known as DAD, etc., are being brought through the darknet by youngsters. The first step is accessing darknet websites through special software freely available on the internet for the purpose. After accessing darknet through the software, various websites which are only accessible through darknet are accessed. These sites have various vendors who specialize in selling various drugs. None of these vendors reveal their real identities, but provide their usernames on anonymous messenger services. A person who desires to buy the drugs contacts these vendors utilizing anonymous messenger services and inquires about availability and rate. Once a user decides on a product, he places the order and provides the address for delivery of drugs. The payment is done through cryptocurrencies like bitcoins, either directly by the user or utilizing service of middlemen agents on special websites, the source said. Meanwhile, the likes of Rhea Ekta and Manish Malhotra seem to be having a ball. They were seen returning from Saqib Salim's birthday bash in Alibag on April 8th. They were spotted returning to Mumbai the next day. Rhea spent a month behind bars, you remember, fighting an arduous legal battle in the Sushant Singh Rajput death case. The party took place on April 8th with Manish Malhotra in attendance. The 3 people were spotted at the Gateway of India. Meanwhile, again, Ekta Kapoor is in problem. The poster of Ekta Kapoor's His Story called out for plagiarism. 13 months of back and forth ripped off without decency. Looks like this is the last straw. Even a poster is copied by the Ekta team of Alt Balaji. In His Story, they've stolen the design of the poster for from 2015's Love. Ekta loves to shock people with showing sex on your face. This story is about a gay couple. You can continue, madam, but this is your trade. Can you imagine you don't even have a proper art team to do a poster without copying someone else's idea? So how low can you stoop? On Friday, the first poster for Alt Balaji's new streaming series, His Story, was unveiled. A few moments later, its similarities to a pre-existing poster for the 2000 film Love was discovered incidentally. Incidentally, both the projects are about the same sex relationships. The art director and film marketing strategist Jahan Bakshi took to Twitter and wrote, Art Balaji, are you okay? I mean, if you need someone to design your posters, I can help you. I promise you, it doesn't cost that much, he added. This poster for Love was designed by Tuck Pigeon Company and illustrated by Rohan Kaur. We spent months on it. Investing solid time, money on a poster for an indie film is difficult. And yet, a studio which surely has the resources to commission original designs opts to steal it. Sad. And this is not the first time. Previously, he had also pointed out similarities between the posters for Alt Balaji's The Married Woman and the film's Ammonite, starring Kate Winslet and Ingmar Bergman's Persona. Why is this industry like this? Love director Sudhanshu Saria wrote on Twitter. Woke up to find that our painstaking, illustrated, original poster for Love film has been blatantly ripped off by the geniuses of Alt Balaji, Z Premium for their show His Story. He continued, 13 months of back and forth and so many drafts by the amazing minds at Talk Pigeon with oversight by Jahan Bakshi and amazingly illustrated by artist Rohan Kaur, just ripped off without any decency. I'm glad they liked our poster. I'm glad they're telling a queer story, but why do this? What is the need? We made our poster with funds to speak of. Why have a massive machinery like Alt Balaji, Z India, if you can even come out, even if you can't even come up with your own poster? Alerting my fellow artists, Satyadeep Mishra, Mrinal Datta, Supam, if you didn't know, now you do. And he's copied it to Ekta Kapoor, tweet Balaji, this is how we ding, let's do better. Sudhanshu concluded his thread by apologizing to his collaborators and artists for not being able to protect their work better. In an article for Film Companion, Jahan had written, in Hollywood, they actually have awards for outstanding poster, art, and film campaigns. Admittedly, the bar is set much lower in our country, especially in mainstream Bollywood. Back in the days of the hand-painted posters, we produced some beautiful poster art. But now in the digital era, while we have had some good posters cropping up sporadically, it's actually tough to recall a single flat stunner. You remember people had even compared the poster of Akshay Kumar's game app to a Shutterstock image. Bollywood does not seem to use their brains, neither are they creative enough with their scripts or talent. And the ones who are talented are tossed around and removed like SSR. That's all the news for today, friends. Let's look at your comments. Good evening, Nitin. Good evening, Prachi. Can Wanda Kumar, can Ekta Kapoor be caught because she gets married today? Central Minister are best friends. Yes, that's a question worth asking. नितिन, मीना जी जैसे लोगों से इंसाफ की मशाल जलती रहती. Thank you, Nitin. Michelle Palma. Hi, ma'am. Thank you for your news updates. Rhea Chakravarti can party now because soon she won't be partying. Yes, for sure. Nisha Thomas, I wish this cleanup doesn't lose steam midway. I don't think, Nisha, this is this. I'm sure we will get some justice in the end. Good evening, Alka. Welcome. Hi, Bharti. Namaste from Namibia. Namaste, Meena. We look forward to your show every day. Keep up the good work. God bless you. Thank you, Preeti. Good evening, Reena. Reena Matthew. I'm happy that Arnab is free now. Hope Pradeep, Sagarika, Shivani all come back to Republic TV. Yeah, we also hope for that. Sadak, hi from Mauritius. Welcome. Hi, Soni. Hi, Meena ji. Love your work. Love to watch you every day. Thank you so much, Soni. Vanda Kumar has asked for a little bit of help. So let's just look at what he says. He says, can you do inform people by connecting in social media for social media protest for NIA investigation in Sushant case by contacting Sushant's sister Shweta in USA? Please hope you understand. For which my question was that, for which my reply was, Vanda Kumar, I cannot ask for SM protest because the frontliners at the moment are all fake people. So I cannot endorse that group who call themselves SSRians. To which he says, yeah, ma'am, I'm saying Shweta Singh Kriti and Sushant's lawyer, Ganesh Shivakar, those only for NIA investigation in Sushant's case. Twitter hashtag, can you do it? I'm telling you because I know all are fake. Viewers, you could also give your opinion on what Vanda Kumar says. Lena, Ganesh has put on his Twitter, the pitting, has purchased a bungalow and roaming around with the bodyguard. Uh, could you just make this clear, Lena? I still don't understand what this is about. Mahagam, hello. Manraj Kartar, wonderful. Kumar, Ekta, Smriti are not good friends, but less polling. Nitin, do you think night curfew is going to work? Double standards of middle class affected, but all politicians. Yes, absolutely. Nitin, you are so right. Mitra, and I wish father of what should be exposed. Thanks for today's information. Yeah, we are really hoping for that, Mitra. Good evening, Manraj. Ganesh, the choreographer, Nisha. What is your question here? Is it connected to what Lena said? What's the status of SSR case? Ma'am, any update? Edu would love to update you, but as of now, there's nothing yet. I think they're just waiting for the Vaze case to completely open up and expose all the people who are involved, which means the policemen as well as the politicians and the Bollywood people who are involved, or underworld. Lena, could you just explain what you've written here in a clear manner? I'm not able to understand you. One thing we must understand is that it's very difficult to find out what's happening in the SSR case unless one case gets solved. And because this whole thing about Sachin Vaze is about toppling the government, so I'm sure that will get priority, and then later, it'll lead to other things. Edu Human, man, why Kejor is not investigated by NCV? I think his people were investigated. See, I basically I believe that the fear of investigating big people should be removed from people's minds. I mean, anybody and everybody could be questioned, whether it's the chief minister or whether it's top houses of Bollywood, the top Bollywood production homes. Pramod Dalvi, if they found one patient, they declare the whole family as positive without test in Mumbai. Yeah, there's a lot of hanky-panky happening in Maharashtra in connection with COVID. Being a weekend, I'm sure all of you are relaxing and enjoying it. So thank you, friends, for today. We'll see you again tomorrow evening. Good night.